guys, an old arch nemesis of mine, Gareth Bale, has officially announced retirement. Wow. As much as I used to hate this man, what a stellar career he's had. And thankfully, none of those trophies that he's won, and he has won a few, were at Tottenham. I mean, can you expect anything different though? But yo, wow. I mean, congrats to him. Congrats to an excellent career. Congrats to all the trophies he has won at Madrid. But yeah, big up to him. Theo, do you feel like he lived up to his potential, his hype, his price tag?
Well, I do. The guy has won 5 Champions League with Madrid, who apparently don't value Bale for what he has done. I mean, yeah, we all thought that Bale was going to win a Ballon d'Or. We thought he was going to be the best of the world because all the potential that he was supposed to live up to. But I would say that he did. Winning 5 Champions League is not for anyone. And I do feel like he was a little disrespected at Madrid. I mean, you can say that he was disrespectful to Madrid too, but I feel like Madrid and Madrid fans in general didn't treat Bale like not a superstar, but a great footballer like he was. It just shocks me that he is retiring. He's only 33 years old. I feel like he could have been playing more, at least in the MLS for a few more seasons. But it just seems that he's tired. He just wants to golf. So what's
33
your
is not
take?
that young though, still. I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
the whole narrative nowadays is because Ronaldo has gone on so long that we're expecting everybody to go that long.
no, but 33. I mean, why not 35? Just a few more years. But I mean, a guy like Bale, who's won everything. Not a World Cup, but he was the player of the year for Wales for 6 years in a row. But a guy that has 5 Champions League, play for the top team in the world. I'm not talking about Tottenham here. But I mean, yeah, I feel like he's just bored. He just wants to golf, chill, enjoy his life. What do you think? What's your take on it, Wansak?
I can't agree that he lived up to his hype slash his price. Maybe his price. I mean, he won them the final against Liverpool. I'm sorry to bring that up. Remember
Mm,
Karius?
That
Uh,
bicycle kick as well, boy.
that
yeah,
hurts
yeah,
me still.
yeah. I mean, you could say he won them that title, but he was when he was on the up, he was supposed to be not maybe not the successor, but competitor to the Ronaldo's and the Messi's, along with Neymar, if you remember correctly. And I mean, what are we looking at now? The fact that we're even discussing this, just I would say Real Madrid certainly got what they paid for. That for that price, they won 5 Champions Leagues, right? But Bale for me was pretty much just a passenger, except for the first season and the 2018 final.
Maybe that downfall had a big impact on your perception, but I do want to ask you, speaking about his price and his eventual transfer to Real Madrid, I saw this question on Sky Sports actually. Was Bale Britain's best ever export?
Export, yes, certainly. Considering that not many of those British players go abroad, not only to go to the best club in the world, arguably Real Madrid, but also to win 5 Champions Leagues. I mean, that record is held by a lot of his Real Madrid teammates. But yes, certainly the greatest export, British export.
And that's what
He
I
was
want
a
to ask you, Theo, is that whole 5 Champions League record, do you feel like that stat is a bit fluffed because of the fact that the team was so good and that Ronaldo was such a major part in it?
I see why you raised the point. You could definitely say so because guys like Lucas Vasquez, they have also won a bunch of Champions League. Even though they don't deserve to have that under their belt. But I would say a guy like Gareth Bale, he did add to the Real Madrid team too. He was very important in every season. Not every season, let's say, guys, because Gareth Bale, I mean, at least for his final seasons in Madrid, seemed like he wanted to golf more than play ball. But I would say that Bale lived up to his potential because of his all the titles that he won, all the goals that he scored. But back to One Sock's point, we just expected a little more of Bale, maybe running up to the Ballon d'Or, being a runner-up, at least, being the top three. He never was. But I would say that he did, given all the championships that he won. I would say so. But still, I want to ask you a question that he started off as a left back and then he moved to a right wing. So do you feel like players making such a sudden move and such a big move like that? How do you feel that? How do you feel like that impacts their career as a whole?
Well, Gareth Bale, when he was signed from Southampton, he was a very talented youngster. His defensive ability was always a question mark, and I think that's why he didn't go directly from left back to right wing, right? He started off as a left back, played a bit higher up as a left midfield slash winger when he was, remember the hat trick against Inter in the Champions League. I think for a player like him, he's always had the attacking abilities, and for him to really develop his skills, his abilities to beat players with such ease, and I mean his finishing was just top class, right? I don't think it was too difficult for him personally because he's always had that attacking talent, and he was never going to be a left back. He grew up as a left back, yes, but his attacking talent was always there, and I think his environment at Tottenham it helped him. He had a manager in Harry Redknapp who saw his abilities as an attacker and really helped him grow in that position. And bam, he goes to Madrid. He becomes even a stronger force in that front three with Benzema and Cristiano Ronaldo. So for his ability, I expected him to do better things, and that transition was very smooth for a guy who was growing up as a left back. But it was always going to be that case where he was going to be a top class attacker.
Noah, if Bale learned Spanish, would it be different for him in Madrid?
No, he actually knows Spanish. He does. He just doesn't speak it in public. I don't know why, but yeah, he knows Spanish.
He doesn't want to embarrass himself. I feel him, bro. I feel him.
No. Remember, he went to LAFC. Los Angeles the Hispanic population is big here. The first interview he did was in Spanish. So I don't know.
It seems like the guy he just want to piss people off, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what it was that I mean, there was a lot of talks about him not speaking Spanish. That's just nonsense. Now, if you ask me why didn't he speak Spanish, I don't know.
Now, talking about his change of position from left back to eventually right wing. I know this may get a little bit off topic, so we can just kind of do a touch and go on this. But seeing him, how many other players do you think are out there that are just missing out on their potential because they haven't been found by, as you say, a higher Redknapp to say, yo, you're not playing left back anymore. You're going to right wing. You're not playing right back anymore. You're going to striker. Mikel Antonio, we've seen that with. I would like to see that with Nuno Tavares, but I don't think we're going to see it. But do you think that there's just like a lot of other players out there that are going through the same thing? Even in Brazil, Theo, Marcelo, Michel Bastos, if you remember.
Dani
Alves. How often are we missing out on players? Is it more often than we think?
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah. Bale was just that special. I mean, we talk about Cancelo now, right? One has been one of the best in the world as an attacking threat, but that is considered among fullbacks. You put him up top, he's probably not going to be anything special. And we see it in games when sometimes he's isolated on the outside. He's just not that special. So I don't necessarily think we're sitting on thousands of gems being. I mean, maybe there are, maybe, but to the level of Gareth Bale, I highly doubt that. Mikel Antonio, yes, successful, but we're not really comparing him to Gareth Bale's quality, right?
And if the player really is a gem, I feel like he's gonna find eventually his position and he's gonna shine. So I don't think that's an actually issue right now.
Fair enough. And having that said, with, as you said, Bale's immense quality, What is your guys' best moment of his? Like, what is your highlight moment of his?
Well, you already know my answer.
I gotta go with you too, Onsak. Unfortunately, I was on the opposition that day, but there was a crazy bicycle kick. I can't forget it. Just can't
No,
forget
boy,
it.
no, you have to pick something else. You can't pick something that he did against your own team as your best memory of this
That was
player.
the high. That was the highlight of his career, though. That was when he reached the top, in my opinion.
You know what's the worst part though is my highlight moment. I know it's bad for me too because it was in a Tottenham shirt, but again, this is against a Theo opponent here. That day when Bale absolutely murdered Maicon, the Brazilian fullback. Oh my days! As much as I hate to say it, I think Maicon's career is forever going to be tarnished by that day.
Yeah, Maicon, I think he was the best right back that prior season because Inter had won the Champions League, right? And Bale just embarrassed him. And I mean, even before that, he was on the decline. But yes, that's pretty memorable too. I mean, that's the scene where that's where Gareth Bale really burst onto the scene. So
Yeah, Maicon was never the same. You're right. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Did Bale live up to his potential or no?